Creepy, creepy, kush, todo el día. Prende Philly, llévame a la orilla. Playa, mujeres fumando. Mira, tírame Lani, son nalgas de mentira. Tan brinda, que chimba, colombiana linda. Siempre con los ojos rojos de Cali, con mi amiguita Mari.
My head's in the clouds, can you bring me back down, boy? I need it. My head's in the clouds, can you bring me back down, boy? I need it. Need it. Need
All right, gentlemen, I know we had technical difficulties, struggle streaming on a whole nother level, but we got everything in order. We're back on track where we were in the video. Going to give you guys a few more seconds to get in here. We got 19 people in the building. Shout out to you guys. Keitha came in. Keitha came in like, wait a minute. I just finished class. What I miss? you missed a lot, Keith. And we actually did another stream and we had technical difficulties. So we got all that taken care of. And you just so happened to pop in as we were doing the second round of the video that we were doing in regards to the homeless ladies in the States are setting a shining example for women in the East. In other words, in Asia, the same thing is occurring. Women are saying that they don't want to be with men, and it's putting them in an economic strain that they never expected. So shout out to you guys being here. We're going to wait for a few more guys to come in. Then we're going to continue on with our video. This is the sister that we were saying that was cleaning herself up at Planet Fitness. And then she would sleep in her car, kind of like Dawn Robinson of En Vogue. Shout out to my man Faudi's here. It's kind of funny. All the guys that weren't on the last live stream just a few minutes ago are on this live stream now. He said, I have to keep it 100, Dre. You definitely leveled up when you got with Andrea. Oh yeah, without a doubt. He said she clearly took pity. Oh, without a doubt. On you. He said, for real, you two make a great team. Thanks, brother. I mean, I'll be looking at Andre intro, man. I'd be jealous, man. I'm like, okay, we got a good intro, but man, I wish I'd have thought about that intro for Love Crossing Borders. But Andre got a really nice intro. I'm glad that you guys like it. Shout out to my man Bobby being here, as well as my man Alexis in the building. Yes, sir. Durr said, yeah, we back. Yeah, we back. Rona said we back too. Shout out to you guys as well. My man Big Ben in the business in the building, as well as my Oz, as my way Oz and KP is in the building. All these new faces. Let's continue on, Ben, shall we? Yeah, that soundtrack, man. It took me hours, man. It took me out, man. It took me of going through all the songs that we go through with Epidemic Sounds. That's where we get our music from, Epidemic Sounds. Man, it took me gotta be at least 4 hours of just sitting back, listening to music back to back. The video had been done. I just did not know what music I wanted. I was like, oh my goodness. And then I had to spend another 4 hours making sure I spliced it just right to go along with the music. But yeah, my man Jay Anderson, the greatest in the building. Shout out to you. He said, keep it further 100. Andre intro alone is enough to book a trip to Colombia. I know that if you ain't never been to Cali, you probably come now with that intro. Shout out to my man Bobby Coltrane of the Coltrane family, first of his name in the year of our Lord 2000. Yes, sir. We're back, guys. We had some technical difficulties. That's why I made sure that I waited a few minutes before we start the video. I put it right back to where we were with the homeless sister living in her car that was going to Planet Fitness, taking a shower. We already looked at the one sister, the couple of sisters. Like, this sister's not unattractive. You know, she's an all right sister for some dude that need a young lady in their house. Like I told you, my boy had to put a chick out yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, but last week he had to put a chick out. And that hurt his heart, man. I'm going to tell you again. That hurt my brother's heart, man. Had to put that chick out his house, bro. He really liked her. But he ain't like her that much. He kicked her right on out the door. Yeah, the homeless gang. And then they want to call it a journey. They want to call it an experience. No matter what title you give it, ladies, it's homeless. When us men are homeless, guess what they call it? Homeless. They don't say, well, he's on a journey. Well, he's going through an experience right now. No, they call what we go through homeless. So at the end of the day, let's continue on with the video. We got 36 people in the building. Let's continue on.
People. And so we try our best to find some sense of normalcy and comfort. And yeah. With any other questions, I do not mind you asking as long as they are respectful. Never know what people are going through, and your actions and words could push somebody over the cliff or bring them back to safety. So remember that leading with love is the way, and kindness is free.
Not us black women out here homeless. I mean, I said I wasn't going to say anything else, but this is the comment. We love to talk about the things that ain't really doing nothing. Every day somebody homeless with their kids. Can't pay their rent. In the shelter, begging for money. They look like me. But we don't talk about this stuff. We ignore it. We act like it don't exist. We're so educated. But we're also educated homeless women. We're homeless. We have no money. Can't pay our bills. Because we idolize materialistic things that have no value in your life. We're homeless. We're getting evicted. We cannot pay our bills, but yet we brag and brag and brag about how we are so educated.
Three lessons living in a shelter taught me. Your girl was homeless, real homeless. Number one, you need to remember where you came from as soon as you get to where you're trying to go. I lived in the same shelter twice. You can imagine the embarrassment I felt when I moved into that shelter for the second time and the staff are looking at me like,
sis, we thought you were good. We thought you got your own apartment. Like, what are you doing back?
I'm not invincible. And if it can happen once, it can happen again and again until I change something within myself. Number two, nothing in life happens to you. It always happens for you. I genuinely believe that I would not have anything that I have now or be anything that I am now if I didn't live in a shelter.
I'm going to tell y'all something for real. That's bullshit. It's not where you've been that makes you a better person. It's what you do with the experience of where you've been makes you a different or better or even worse person. Many of you guys know that I was incarcerated for 10 years in the federal penitentiary. I didn't become a better man because of the penitentiary. I became a better man for me. If I was free, I was going to end up being a better man anyway because of the person who I am as Andre Spence. It had nothing to do with my geographical location. There are people in homeless shelters right now in that geographical location, and they still aren't any better. We don't see too many multimillionaires except for a few people that have come from the homeless life. So for her to sit back and try to sell, like, listen, if it wasn't for the homeless shelter, I wouldn't appreciate the life that I have, and I wouldn't be a better woman. You end up in the shelter twice, sister. I understand where you're coming from. That's kind of sad. But don't try to make it seem like the homeless shelter is for everybody. Come on, join me at the homeless shelter. It'll make your life better. No, sis, I don't buy that. Just like I don't buy anybody that sit back and say, well, if it wasn't for me being on drugs, I wouldn't be the man that I am today. What? So you had to become a crackhead to end up becoming somebody? No. A lot of people want to sit back and say because they went through a travesty that they became somebody. That's not even in the Bible or in the Quran. Nowhere does God say, I'm going to torture you so you can be a better person. Is there any place in the Bible where God says, I'm going to take all your stuff? The person that lost the most at once, God never said, I did that to teach you a lesson or to hook you up. The book of Job. Think about it. Job lost all 7 of his kids, all his cattle. He got robbed. Everything got stole. House burned down. in the middle of a party, his kids die. He ends up with a disease, and his wife turns on him and God and says, Job, you need to curse your God and die in the second or third chapter of Job. The devil laughing at him, God just sitting back, just waiting for the moment that Job understands what's taking place. Not one time did God put that on Job. The devil said, let me do it to him. You ain't got to worry about it. Let me do it to him. There is nowhere in the Quran where Allah sat back and cursed a person as a blessing. You can't do both. You can't curse somebody as a blessing. I cursed you to bless you. There is no scripture in the Bible being cursed for a blessing. Nobody, not even Jesus being on the cross, that was not a curse for a blessing. That was a blueprint outline plan that God had already had for him to die for the sins of the world. That was a blueprint plan laid out. That was not a cursing for a blessing. There is nowhere in the Bible that God's going to take all your money so you can be blessed. Nowhere. These women are just fabricating stuff in their heads, dude. I would never sit back and say, yeah, bro, if it wasn't for prison. No, if it wasn't for me making wise decisions when I was in and when I got out, that's what made my life better. My decisions, my choices. Don't ever forget that, guys. When you go to other countries, you're going to get positive results because of your decisions and your choices. And you may end up with negative results because of your decisions, not your choices. And your choices. Don't come to Colombia and think things went bad for you in Colombia because of Colombian women. No, things went bad for you because you chose that particular one and you knew better. You chose. That was your decision, not the country's. The geographical location did not dictate what was going to happen to you. You dictated what was going to happen to you. So I want you guys to realize that. People sit back and try to once again, they do not want to take accountability. They will even blame what happened to them instead of realizing you made some wrong choices and learn from them. He said, I'm not trying to, he said, I'm not trying. He said, I'm not sorry. But a woman gets no sympathy from Keithan. Thank you. He said, for every hole I dug, a woman gave me the shovel. He said, I still made it out. Still made it out. Absolutely correct. Jason said this facts. He said, Job was hard to hear and to read. Yeah. Job lost everything. And yet he knew, hey, it wasn't God that cursed me like this. I know I lost my kids. But then you read the end of Job, he got more kids. He ended up having more kids. He ended up having more land and more blessings than he had before. So that's like saying Ruth. Remember the book of Ruth, her husband, her father-in-law, and her brother-in-law died on the same day. I guess they had to die so Ruth can go to Israel and marry Boaz. Well, she was already married to an Israelite. So her Israelite husband had to die so she could marry an Israelite. You see how stupid what that sound when women say it? Remember, guys, it's not the geographical location that blesses you or curses you. It's your decisions that's going to bless you and curse you in Thailand, in Colombia, in Brazil. It's your choices. You chose it. And when I hear guys try to blame a whole country full of women for our choices, that's not right. Shout out to Caution being in the building. He said, I may be the minority in this travel space. He said, but I prefer Asian women over African and Latinas. That's the cool part about the travel space. You are the majority, my brother. We all in this travel space go by who we like. Sometimes you just go by the feeling. Today I like the Asian girl. Tomorrow I like redheads. That's the cool part about having a passport. Today I like the short little chick. Tomorrow I like a tall Ukrainian. That's the cool thing about having a passport. You got that choice, that option. You've got that option. He said, my brother says, the Quran states bad things come from your own actions, not from the Almighty. Need we say more? Need we say more? Thank you, Armonte. Let's go back to the video.
3, me coming to the realization that I don't know everything really happened the second time I ended up in the shelter. Once you get a little bit too ahead of yourself, God is going to sit you down. Ending up in the shelter for the second time was the most humbling experience in my life.
I don't know. I think I'm starting to get used to this life.
He said she's starting to get used to it.
I'm going to show you my car in a second.
They homeless playing Neil. What? How come come on, fellas? How come our homeless videos don't be like this? Our homeless videos when somebody pay us $100 to sing a song in the streets. Our homeless video would be somebody giving us a sandwich and praying with us. Oh, come on, let's be real. Men don't be having no neo soul playing in the foreground of our homelessness. Ours ain't even no music playing. Unless it's some gospel music, God gonna make a way type music. You don't never see no man with romanticizing being homeless. I'm going to Planet Fitness, y'all. I got a date tonight. I mean, think about it. I got a date tonight on my way to Planet Fitness to wash my hand. I got a date tonight. Ours don't never seem like it's romantic. We make being homeless. If you go with men, boy, men make being homeless hard. We make it look hard to do. Women be making it look like it's an adventure. You can twirl around in a circle in front of your car. It's an adventure. It's a Let's look to this one with the neo soul. You see what I'm saying? She got the music going. She's showing off her spot with pride, with loving and pride in her eyes. That's how proud they be about being homeless. She said, I've gotten used to this. I think I'm getting used to this homeless. Man, y'all, She in the zone and she feel like she at home. Come on, Ozzy, laugh with me too, bro. Laugh with me too. I do not get this at all. We about to go to China. We about to go to China and see what the modern ladies are doing in China, the lovely ladies and gentlemen in China.
China has the highest number of single women in the world.
Y'all caught that? I thought the United States had a lot of single women. China's got the largest.
It also has one of the highest divorce rates globally. In most cases, divorces are initiated by women. Nowhere else do women look down on men as much as in China.
Y'all heard that? Y'all thought that feminism, modern feminism, was just in the States. Boy, these women in China. You just saw the results of what's taking place in the United States. Watch how much it's parallel and the repercussions are parallel in China.
Nowhere else do women demand such high bride prices. Nowhere else do so many women abandon their husbands and children. Nowhere else do so many divorced women seek welfare partners. And most of them don't succeed. What's the reason behind this, friends? There's only one reason. Chinese women have been consuming too much toxic positivity advice. They've been told that men should earn money while women should focus on looking beautiful. That men struggle to find wives, but women never have trouble finding husbands. This so-called wisdom has left women dazed, confused and disoriented. Completely lost and disoriented. This elderly man's remarks may be extreme, but real-life cases do support some of his views. In January 2025, an online court trial video sparked widespread controversy across the Chinese internet.
As a father, you've never called your child, never cared about her life, never taken responsibility for their education. You haven't even made a single phone call in a year. You've deprived my child of a father's love. You've taken no responsibility for this family, not even a cent as a father. You've never cared about your child's life or education.
In the 7.5-minute courtroom video, nearly 7 minutes were filled with the plaintiff, Yan Dongping, voicing her accusations. To any observer, she appeared to be a deeply wounded wife, an abandoned mother, while her husband was seemingly an irresponsible man. But a single statement from her husband, Sheng Zhubao, shattered the entire performance. I was working in Beijing. I gave you all my money without keeping a single cent for myself. Finally, the judge delivered the verdict. The couple's joint property, a car, is awarded to the plaintiff, Yan Dongping. At that moment, before the camera was turned off, Yan Dongping turned her head and smiled. A smile filled with an indescribable sense of sweetness and triumph. To many viewers, it felt as if she was looking at someone she truly loved. This scene deeply wounded her weary and honest husband, who quietly wiped away the tears at the corner of his eyes. This scene didn't just wound her husband, it struck a nerve with every viewer watching. And so, what people jokingly called the first world-famous painting of 2025, Yan Dongping's smile, was born, ultimately making her the target of online outrage. As the controversy grew, the truth began to surface. When the couple first went to the Civil Affairs Bureau to finalize their divorce, they were required to undergo a 1-month cooling-off period, a policy introduced under China's 20.
You see them lines for a divorce in China? Those are divorce lines, guys, that we're looking at. Just in case you guys are wondering, those are divorce lines.
2021 marriage law intended to promote marital stability. But in Miss Yan's case, that month became the perfect opportunity for her to execute a carefully planned strategy. Under the pretense of achieving financial independence through an online store, she escalated her demands, stripping the father of visitation rights and even insisting that their daughter change her surname, severing all ties between them. People quickly exposed the so-called financial independence as nothing more than a sham. Miss Yan's online store was merely a business license on paper, with little to no actual revenue. The family's middle-class lifestyle, owning a home and a car in a third or fourth-tier city, was entirely built on years of her husband's hard-earned wages from working in the big city.
So this man was living in another city, busting his ass, sitting all that much. Does all this sound familiar, gentlemen? Does all this sound a little familiar? Shout out to my man Globe Spinner. Little familiar, gentlemen. I'm just saying. But we're going to get to the repercussions in a second.
This divorce case ignited a firestorm online, striking at a painful reality in China's urbanization process. Millions of left-behind families follow the same survival model, husbands working in distant cities while wives stay behind to raise children. In truth, this phenomenon stems from deeper systemic issues, including the household registration system and unequal distribution of educational resources. For many migrant workers in similar situations, the Yan case served as a wake-up call, highlighting the risks they too might one day face.
Yep.
The most troubling part is that the betrayer pays no price. In recent years, with the economic fallout from the pandemic, many men lost their jobs or suffered business failures. In almost every case, it was the women who quickly filed for divorce.
Sounds familiar, gentlemen? Y'all gonna hear me say that throughout the night. Sounds familiar, gentlemen. After the pandemic, dudes lost their jobs. What the women do? File for a divorce.
Often walking away with whatever little assets remained. For many men, marriage has reduced them to mere providers, financial tools discarded with no fair outcome. This has fueled growing anxiety among young men about marriage. Statistics show that over 40% of men born in the 90s and 2000s now express a fear of marriage. Cases like Yan's only deepen this.
Sounds familiar, gentlemen? Does that now sound familiar about men saying when it comes to the West, I am not getting married?
Fear, and she is far from an isolated example. People have responded with bitter laughter, saying that with a single smile, Yan has pushed China's record low marriage rate even lower. No one knows exactly who that smile was meant for, but one thing is clear. It has left many men terrified. terrified of walking away from a marriage with nothing, terrified that one day their own wives might flash a Yan-style smile. Scrolling through social media, it's easy to find boastful statements like, I can drive, I can earn money, I can cook, so why do I need a man? This certainly reflects women's independence. But the way it's framed is a classic example of toxic positivity rhetoric, one that exposes the distorted gender perceptions shaped by the CCP state system. While official media promotes gender equality on the surface, it simultaneously allows various independent social media platforms to spread extreme feminist narratives.
Does that not sound familiar, gentlemen? Social media platforms that spread extreme feminist rhetoric.
This false notion of women's liberation is, in reality, a betrayal of genuine gender equality. Is finding a partner only about having someone who can cook, earn money, and drive? Relationships are built on emotional connection, mutual understanding, and growing together, things that shouldn't be overlooked. True independence should empower people to choose meaningful relationships, rather than dismissing the value of
everybody looking happy for you, you look happy.
Companionship. Are material possessions like luxury homes and cars the ultimate measure of success? Placing too much emphasis on material wealth may reflect a mindset that prioritizes external achievements over deeper fulfillment in life. Most importantly, equating not needing a man with independence shifts away from the true meaning of gender equality and can even disrupt social harmony. This mindset is, in reality, extreme individualism and outright materialism disguised as progress. It can be seen as a toxic version of the independent woman ideal, one that has contributed to cases like Jan's. Another form of toxic positivity rhetoric is the princess syndrome narrative, often expressed as women should be beautiful and men should be the providers. This idea is misleadingly packaged as traditional virtue and widely promoted on social media. As a result, many single women possessively wait for a dominant CEO-type partner to appear, quite popular in romanticized Chinese dramas.
So even in China, women have this invisible man that doesn't exist that they think going to come along and rescue them.
Logically, there should be plenty of wealthy CEOs fighting over me. Look at me, I was born naturally beautiful and I just don't get it. Someone as pretty as me. Why have I waited 36 years and not a single CEO has shown up?
Some once stable families have also been torn apart by these unrealistic fantasies of happiness. Miss Hu Peipei is a typical case. Her husband earned 10,000 yuan a month, enough for a comfortable life, but she became consumed by online toxic positivity narratives. Women should be princesses, deserve the best cosmetics and designer bags, and must have a handsome, wealthy CEO picking them up in a luxury car every day. She began to resent her current lifestyle.
I don't want to live in that rundown house anymore. I want to be like my friends, living in a nice apartment. I want to be stylish, sophisticated girl. I have high standards for myself, and I'm
Boy.
very picky.
With her husband, she became increasingly aggressive.
If the makeup I wear, the clothes on my back, and everything I eat and use don't come from you, then you're a complete failure as a man.
Even during mediation, her husband was still thinking about her well-being. I sought mediation because I want you to have a good life. But she responded coldly, "You're not my parents. I don't need you worrying about my marriage." In the end, Zhang Liwei could only sigh in resignation and say, "Marriage is supposed to be about sharing responsibilities equally, right? But everything that should have been shared between us, I ended up shouldering it alone, and I spoiled her into having princess syndrome." This story ultimately ended in tragedy. When the wealthy CEO Jiang Dong appeared, Hu Peipei believed she had finally found the ideal life she had seen glorified online. Eager to escape what she saw as an ordinary marriage, she left without hesitation. But reality hit hard. Jiang Dong soon revealed his true colors, toying with her feelings before heartlessly abandoning her. Filled with regret, Hu Peipei returned to the home she once despised, hoping to reclaim her ordinary life. But by then, Zhang Liwei had already given up on her. Today, Chinese social
So she tried to come. All this sounds familiar, doesn't it, guys? She left him for a dude, thought the dude was gonna be down with her. Come to find out, he just smashed and dashed. And she tried to go back home begging. Once again, these women don't have nowhere to go, and then they want to come back to you guys. Man, it's crazy.
media and self-media loudly promote female independence while simultaneously portraying marrying into wealth as life's ultimate success. Yet those who follow these narratives,
Yeah, man, this make you feel sad for Chinese dudes. You be like, dang, I thought it was crazy in the States. And then realize in China, you got to put like an economic down payment down for a female. So think about it. Okay, think about if this was in the States, right? In many parts of China, when you get married, you have to give that woman like $10,000, $15,000. Give it to her, not her parents, to her. That's like a marriage down payment. As that's like the original gift to her in many parts of China. You're gonna see that in the video. That they give $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 to her. These women are taking that money, stacking it. We're talking about some poor, everyday, regular women. They are taking that money and stacking it, putting it in the stock market, using the man, knowing the whole time they're going to let this money flip and then they'll leave their husbands. This is crazy, man.
often find themselves facing harsh realities, as one veteran journalist bluntly exposed.
Some wealthy elites, some second-generation rich guys change girlfriends every month. Many even date multiple women at the same time. The more attractive ones might get to stay around for a few extra days, but don't even talk about women's rights in front of them. You won't even have basic human rights. Because when they've had their fun and tell you to leave, you have no choice but to go.
In a campus interview, a female student confidently said,
Dating doesn't come for free, right?
A sharp-witted respondent immediately pointed out the issue.
Why are you using the word free? Let me ask you, what kind of things in this world actually require payment? Products? What exactly are you considering yourself to be?
The most deceptive toxic positivity narrative is the one about life after divorce. A matchmaker in Shenzhen put it bluntly.
There's this toxic positivity myth spreading online. Divorced women are in high demand. Single mums from a second marriage are sought after. I've been a matchmaker for a long time and I can tell you the truth. In the real Shenzhen dating market, if you're divorced and have a son, no matter how beautiful you are, the moment men hear that, they don't even want to meet you. Why? Because men today aren't willing to raise someone else's child anymore, especially if it's a boy. Men nowadays aren't that naive.
Some independent social media platforms have even fabricated the myth of high-quality men's clubs to mislead their audience.
Divorced women can only marry high-quality men. They should never settle for ordinary men because ordinary men care too much about whether you've been married before or if you've had children. Your past.
You know what the funny part is? The Asian dudes look stressed because they haven't learned the statistical knowledge that we've acquired. I'll say that again. Remember, for years, for about 40 years, man, women would say all type of crazy things on mainstream media, social media, different platforms about men, and we didn't know the truth. And we believed them, and we was kind of like, we kind of beat down. We didn't know how to respond to them. And then certain guys, such as Medium Man, Kevin Samuels, Obsidian, and others start using stats. These dudes were actually doing the homework and doing the research. And there were white guys that were actually doing it too. And they would come with statistical analysis and facts. So you didn't have to put feelings in it anymore. You didn't have to debate with that female back and forth like we used to for 40 years. And facts would be always truthful, no matter how the women felt. We knew the statistics, and it caused us to get the upper hand over the last 5 to 10 years. In China, I don't think the dudes are up on the stats yet. So the women are still being able to say, yeah, a woman that's divorced should be able to get a high value man. A woman with kids don't let down your value. You should get a high value man. But the dudes in China don't know the stats like that one woman gave. Like, ain't nobody effing with no baby mamas, and that's around the world. I'm gonna say that again for all you dudes that always be on my case about talking about baby mamas. Now you see, oh, we talking about China now. We talking about the East. They don't F with baby mamas. So all you dudes that want to get with baby mamas, get with them. Do your thing. I ain't hating on you. But what I am saying, you are not the norm. You are outside the box. But when you get outside the box results, don't cry about it. Don't come to us brothers talk about what happened. Don't come to us like, oh man, yeah, man, I did everything. She wrong. I can't stand these Colombian women. No, you can't stand the baby mama in Colombia you got with. You can't stand the baby mama in Brazil you got with. The baby mama in DR you got with. The baby mama in Cambodia you got with. Ain't nobody tell y'all to be getting with these damn baby mamas. Y'all love y'all some baby mamas. All these women walk around these countries, ain't got no kids, and y'all will run up into a baby mama quick, fast, and hurry, pick up their little 4-year-old daughter and be taking photos of the child as if it's yours and spread it all over Facebook, TikTok, WhatsApp. Y'all always got somebody baby mama, somebody's child in y'all arms. Every time you turn around, y'all I ain't gonna lie. I ain't had the coochie good enough to make me want to stick with a baby mama. Have I smashed baby mamas? Obviously, you've heard enough stories about me smashing females in their kids' bunk beds, but I ain't gonna keep no baby. I did the stepdad mistake one time, or fiasco. I don't even call it a mistake. Fiasco one time. Never again, my friend. Never again. And some of you dudes get fooled by the femininity of women in other countries. You think that being a baby mama in a predominantly masculine, toxic femininity community is worse than being a baby mama in a soft girl feminine community. No, it's still bad. I'll say that again. It doesn't matter how soft-spoken women in Asia, women in South America are, how feminine they are. At the end of the day, a baby mama and the issues that you got to deal with a baby mama and her family and them dang on kids and the baby fathers, because usually they got more than one father, and the grandparents. Do not leave out. I'm one of the few people that talk about the grandparents. Take it from me as a former stepdad. Them grandparents be involved to the nth degree. His parents and her parents. So all you dudes that think you come to South America and because she's so nice and feminine, I'll get with a baby mama. You a goddamn, you about as dumb as the dudes in the States. You about as dumb as the dudes in the States. See, some of you dudes don't realize, and I know I'm rambling for a little bit. Dude, can y'all do yourselves a favor? Can I hook y'all up with something with one word I always use? If you got one word, take this with you. Fuckable. I know that's not in the dictionary. Fuckable. Some women you might not say no to, but she just fuckable. She not booable. She's not a keeper. She's not, that's wifey right there. That's wifey right there. That's not wifey. That's just some chick that's fuckable. Some of y'all be falling in love with these baby mamas, and it's just some chick that was supposed to be just fuckable. Be a man about your shit. Most baby mamas, ladies, you made the decision to leave your man. You made the decision on being a single mother. You made the decision to spread your legs without condoms and no protection. You got over 30 forms of contraceptives. You don't want to take advantage of none of those. You want to spread your leg and let semen run through your body. Cool. I ain't hating on you. But when it comes to the dating market, most of you are now officially considered fuckable. Yeah, you fine. I will fuck you. But you dudes that be falling in love with fuckable, You be all in Cartagena falling in love with fuckable Venezuelans. You all in Brazil got your ass in love with fuckables. You all in Thailand bragging, taking photos with fuckables. Them females are only fuckable, and everybody know that your woman is only fuckable, but you, my bad, you know it, but you just ignore it. You just ignore it. We got to stop this dude. We got to stop trying to put these baby mamas on a level. And I'll say this. I got baby mamas in my family. I was raised by a baby mama. Dude, the way my mom act, no. I'll tell y'all about my family all the time in the sense of when it comes to the dating scene with the women. No, don't, no. If I was an outsider, no, don't leave them Spencers alone now. Ain't no marriages in that family. Every female mad at the world. No accountability, and none of the ladies. There's only maybe, like Jeffrey said, we got 50 different women in our family, only 3 marriages. That's it. Most of the women in my own family had carried themselves for most of their lives. And I love the ladies in my family. Do not get me wrong. They carried themselves as fuckable. And a lot of you dudes don't want to admit that most of the women in most of our families in the Black community have carried themselves as if they were only fuckable. I do not. I'm going to tell you this. I don't have one lady in my family. Not a one. I've got females. Yes, I do. I got women. Yes, I do. I do not have anyone with ultra feminine, ladylike behavior, walk, presence. When they walk in the room, you can tell a lady walked in the room. I don't have one of them in my family. Some of y'all can reflect right now. You be like, damn, I ain't got no ladies in my family either. All of them, all the women in my family, from my aunties to my female cousins, all of them have a undertone of some form of masculinity. If you make them mad, they'll knock your head off type of behavior. And I'm not hating on the women. I love these women. These women are a part of my family, my lineage, who they are. The reason why I can use my family as an example, because if I know that my family is a Black family like that, I'd be dang if y'all try to convince me that y'all family full of all just nothing but Tea Party ladies that just know how to, ladies of etiquette. They know how to be quiet when they're among men. They know how to behave. They have a ladylike walk about them. That when they walk in the room, there's a certain air about them. Y'all ain't got all them women in y'all family. Y'all got just like I got. Y'all got women, females, fuckables. The women that are fuckable in the world are, most of the time, they're in somebody's family, right? If you go to Colombia, you meet a female that's fuckable, not a keeper. Guess what? She got a family, right? That means that somebody in their family is fuckable. Why? Because you treating her like a fuckable. That means that somebody, dude, we're going to quit pretending. The years of pretending as men, it's over. We don't have to lie no more. We don't have to sit back and just be like, well, let's just keep quiet. Yes, yes, dear. Yes, dear. Those days are over. We're in a barbershop right now. It ain't nothing on this channel at this time of night but men. So let's be honest. I didn't have a perfect family, and neither do you. I didn't have a bad family. I love the ladies in my family, really good church ladies. But lady likeness? No. None of the ladies in my family had an air about themselves. So you guys are trying to sit back and on the other side of the camera, y'all can pretend like y'all had all dainty ladies in your family that would curtsy. You go ahead and pretend like you had all the lady likeness thereof. They went to etiquette school and private school and played the cello. Go ahead. You keep on pretending. Wasn't no cello players in etiquette school in my family. Believe that one. I ain't saying they was roughnecks and they was thugs, but when you sit back, you look at it, like I said, you probably had fuckables in your family. You had females and you had women, and maybe 1 or 2 women in your family were really true ladies, how they carried themselves with feminine energy, ladylike energy. But don't sit up here and try to act like Dre be going in on his family. Negro, please, I'm going in on your family too. Your family were my neighbors. Your family was at the family reunion, the same churches that I went to, the same banks that I went to, your family were my co-workers. So don't act like I don't know your people. Your people were just like my people. Y'all trying to sit up there and be looking at me like, I can't believe, clench my pearls. I can't believe Andre says these things about his own family. I'm talking about all our families. Unvarnished. I like that. He said, I attract ladies. He said, and I know ladies, but ladies fuck up too. Absolutely correct. Nobody's perfect. Absolutely correct. That's an excellent point. He said, I'll be watching Chinese Unvarnished on YouTube. Yep. He said, and there's some craziness. I'll be watching y'all. Should check it out. Yep, that's what I'm watching right here. Let's continue on with the video. Get me out the way. Andre, shut up.
Matters to them. But in our club, elite men earning 5 to 6 million yuan a year don't mind if a woman has been divorced. To them, marriage isn't just about having kids or physical attraction. Marriage is about fulfilling dreams.
Marriage is not about having kids. It's not about physical attraction. It's about fulfilling dreams. Did not Kevin Samuels say that these women are living in Disney La La Land? Andre, as we speak, my aunt is homeless, wasting her time and life. Yeah, but dudes be in the comments as if I'm the crazy one. I can't clench my pearls. He actually just said, I can't believe Andre said that about his own. If I'm saying it about my family, you know I'm gonna tell you the truth about your family. We all went to the same church, same mosque, same temples. Let's not act like all brand new. I saw your family in church too.
In response, a commentator angrily refuted. How much did you drink to be talking this nonsense? There is no such club. Be sure you can treat yourself like a fool tossing coins into a wishing well, thinking you'll get whatever you want. And let me ask, are there actually any big shots here making 5 or 6 million a year? Step up and comment. Is what this person is saying even true? These toxic positivity narratives are seriously distorting society's views on love and marriage. Take the widely circulated 101 things a man should do for a woman as an example. It sets unrealistic standards for love, defining actions like buying late-night snacks at 3 a.m. and traveling to various destinations as measures of devotion. As a result, many otherwise stable relationships have fallen apart simply because they couldn't meet these exaggerated expectations. Misleading ideas such as only foolish women wait for a man to mature and older men are better than struggling young men further warp young people's values. Why has toxic positivity become so widespread? A veteran journalist analyzed.
Everyone knows that toxic positivity is harmful, but many women just love listening to it. Let me break it down for you. First, toxic positivity usually contains a bit of truth. If it were complete nonsense, no one would listen. For example, it's true that women face challenges when they leave their family homes, they enter a new family, take care of their in-laws, raise children, endure their husband's temper, and basically become servants, and so on and so on. When women hear this, they feel overwhelmed. They think, this is so true, and they immediately hit follow for that influencer. But in reality, these narratives exist just to attract more women. Yep. After all, who doesn't know that women are the biggest spenders?
According to the 2020...
Who does this? A lot of YouTubers do this. They use that toxic positivity, like I like how they say it, not toxic femininity, but toxic positivity. And these dudes are making money at the expense of the hurt of these ladies. I kid you not. All these Derek Jacksons and all these other like the what's that tonight's conversation, that panel, all these dudes that hype up women so they can make $1 off these women are hurting these women in the end. You rarely find a truth-telling channel that women support. You notice that? You rarely find a like a ask an older man. There are a lot of women that listen to him. And there are a few other brothers, I mean, other panels where men and women can talk. You've got the lead attorney. There are a few panels where men and women can come on the same platform and talk, but it's not that common. Women love getting lied to, and social media influence, brother. They love the checks, bro. I ain't gonna even lie. I won't even lie to you. When we first got our first big check, man, like I said, we didn't even think they was gonna send it to us. Like we had made $33,000 that particular month. That was just the first big check. And we kept getting them and kept getting them and kept. Just imagine, I wasn't even talking to women. I was just talking about Social Security, and we blew up. Can you imagine the checks that these dudes are getting for lying to women? Every time you drop a video, it's 300,000 views, 40,000, 40, 50, 60, 70,000 views. All your TikToks, all your Instagrams. And then now they're doing the live conversation shows where women are paying a couple hundred to get in, and the stadiums are full. If you think these men gonna start telling women the truth with this type of money flying around, if you think Derek Jackson is gonna, this dude had 2 million subscribers when he got caught, best-selling books when he got caught. And there are still sisters to this day that support that brother. That brother's still at like 700, 800,000 subscribers. It is big, big money lying to women. If you can lie to women, man, you can walk away every month with a check from you, just YouTube alone, $25,000 to $50,000 a month. A month. I'm gonna say that again. I know the money. I've seen that money plenty of times. A month, bruh. All you got to do is like pastors do, lie to women. All you got to do is take it from the church and put it on YouTube. You can lie to women on TikTok, Instagram. You get money. Facebook, get money. It is a lot of money, but bruh, if y'all only knew behind the scenes, yeah, conversation tonight or tonight's conversation, them dudes be hustling them chicks. All they got to do is say exactly what the chick want to hear, and the check's going to keep rolling in. That brother who's the host of that conversation tonight, that brother is a multi-millionaire from lying to women. None of his shows ever got a result of somebody coming together and getting married and falling in love or keeping their husband. No testimonies. I was watching your show and I went back to my husband and I did the right thing. None of that. They get paid to do not only that, but even when the show goes off, they schedule consultations with the ladies that come up. So they not only make money for the people that come in, they not only make money on social media for all of us that are watching, then they get paid on the consultation end from hustling the ladies even more. Bruh, if I kid you not, if I wasn't an honest dude, bruh, Steve Harvey's another one. Steve Harvey built his career online on women. Don't no dude watch no damn Steve Harvey show. That show been on forever. Ain't no dude said, man, I be binge watching Steve Harvey, dog. Don't no dude watch no damn Steve Harvey. It be women. Why? Because Steve gonna sit up there and lie to women. He wrote a book lying to women. How many women got married after reading that book? How many women have had a testimony or had a circle of friends that said, girl, if it wasn't for Steve Harvey's Think Like a Man, Act Like a Lady, but Think Like a Man book, I would not be married today. Ain't nobody said that. Yeah. But Steve still sold hundreds of thousands and millions of copies of that book. That man got a show where he's on stage now as a court judge for relationships. Steve got like 5 different shows, and I ain't mad at him. Don't get me wrong. Get your hustle on. I'm not mad at Conversations Tonight. I'm not mad at Derek Jackson and all those other channels that hype it up for women. I'm not mad at you. Get your paper player. I see what you're doing. See, I'm a man. I see dudes on TikTok. Yeah. When a man leaves you, do realize, ladies, he'll be coming back, because he'll realize once he's in them streets, ain't nobody gonna treat him like you. And then you see them women on TikTok, like 3,000 comments. Yeah, you right. When he leave, he gonna be back. He'll be back. Then you watch another TikTok video of another dude, white dude, beat up there. Ladies, it don't matter what color you are. A real man gonna always love you no matter what your race is. Oh my God, the white man. Zaddy, we love you. We love you, Zaddy. All in the comments. Not realizing. And you know what I usually put in the comments? I don't put in the comments, oh man, you tripping. I put in the comments, get your money, player. Anytime I see those videos, I always say, get your money, player. I know what these dudes are doing. Same thing happening in China. He said, I'm going to the wrong goddamn business. Yep. He said, always knew the church was the hustle. They always say, if you can't, what do they say? If you can't do, teach. If you can't teach, preach. Okay, watch this. In the next year, I want you guys to watch out in the United States for this. I thought about this the other day. Anytime there's an economic downturn, all of a sudden there's an increase in female evangelists that God called and male preachers that God called. Why? Why? Because they don't have nowhere else to go. And so all of a sudden God called me to leave my job. Dude, you ain't got no job for God to leave, for God to take you from. It's amazing when God calls you. It wasn't when you was making $75 an hour on your job. Now all of a sudden you're making less than nothing. Now God calls you when you broke. There's gonna be a lot of churches. Okay, y'all think I'm kidding? That happens all the time. All the time. Whenever the economy makes a huge downturn, all of a sudden all these every female is an evangelist and a prophet, and every dude is a preacher and wants to open up a church. Why? Because the hustle on women is big. They know if I can't hustle nobody at the perfect, okay. You know who else does that? Y'all ready? Colleges. Bruh. You know who take it from me. I was an academic college recruiter for 20 years, right? Dude, whenever there's a major economic downturn, the economic downturn in 2008 with the housing market crash, COVID, what was the other one that happened? Oh, basically through the Biden administration, but prior to that, it was 2008, it was 2012, it was when Trump first got elected the first time. It was, there's one more time when the market crashed down or went down low. Every time that happens, people enroll in college and in trade schools. You know, every female now wants to get a CDL now. Every guy wants to be a plumber in HVAC. A lot of women go back to school when they're lonely and when they're sad, when they're back at home and they've lost their jobs. Dude, if you think I'm kidding, this now with Elon laying off all those women, boy, college is about to get paid. The small colleges, the large colleges, man, we can't do economic turns. We can't keep up with the enrollment of students. Remember that, dude, I was working for Everest when that brother came out with the Everest commercial, when he said, you sitting on the couch, you might as well go back to school. You ain't doing nothing at all. You know how much money Everest made off of that one commercial? Man, we could not keep enough staff. So many people came back to school. From that one commercial, the brother was like, hey, you sit on the couch. You guys remember that Everest commercial when Murray was on? You sitting on the couch. You ain't doing nothing with your life anyway. This is the funny part. That dude wasn't even the actor for the commercial. He was actually the cameraman. They actually took the record. This is what happened with that Everest commercial. That Everest commercial was, they hired an actor to do that commercial. The actor was so nervous and doing it kind of like too stiff. So the cameraman said, just hold this for me. And I'm just going to walk through it. The cameraman walked through it while the actor held the camera, but the cameraman didn't know it was rolling. Hey, listen, you sit on the couch, you ain't doing nothing with your life anyway. You might as well go back to school. That was the cameraman. That dude they signed that dude to a contract. He ain't never looked back. That commercial was everywhere. The camera dude. Do you know how much? And that commercial came out right around some economic downturns, bro. Do you know how much money that Everest made from sisters going back to school? Shit. A lot of money, dude, right now. Because, like I kid you not, watch how many people started rolling back to school. Because, oh my God, I don't have anything to fall back on. What should I do? Let me go back to trade school. So they start coming to trade schools, bro. They start going back to universities. They start going back to the 2-year, 4-year colleges. And now Everest is gone after all that money. Yeah. Yep. Shout out to Tori. You say you've been saying it for decades. Kid you not, bro. Sisters will run back to colleges instead of running to a man like Kevin Samuel said. Let's head on back over here, gentlemen. Finish off this video.
2024 Social Media and Youth Values Survey report released by a sociology research institute, 76.3% of women aged 18 to 35 consume toxic positivity content daily. Among them, 45.2% admitted that such content influenced their expectations of love and marriage, while 28.7% acknowledged having unrealistic fantasies as a result. Statistics from the Civil Affairs Department showed that in the first quarter.
So this shows you that there is somebody behind the scenes trying to pull us apart like puppets. I'll say this again. Somebody behind the scenes is trying to pull us apart like puppets, so we're not together and only a few of us are having kids, but most of us aren't having kids, whether it be male or female. Somebody's trying to pull us apart like puppets for a reason.
Of 2024, the divorce rate among people under 30 increased by 15.6% year over year. Of these divorces, 42.3% were attributed to irreconcilable values.
A smart woman wouldn't use online standards to judge her own husband because she understands that he has his own struggles too. A good marriage takes effort from both partners. It's about working together. Listen to me. Don't be misled by toxic positivity. If you want a good life, you have to build it step by step.
From a legal perspective, the most important factor in marriage is not material wealth, but character and sincerity.
Yep.
Shenzhen-based lawyer Chen Jianbin stated, "I have never seen a marriage built on genuine mutual love end in divorce. As a lawyer, I am even more determined not to let calculations take over my marriage. I spend my days outside fighting battles, but when I come home, all I want is a hot meal and a moment to clear my mind. You cook, I chop vegetables. You scrub the pot, I wash the dishes. A simple life, leaning on each other. Isn't that true happiness?" At the end of the day, the tragedy of Yan Dongping's case reflects the harsh realities of the CCP systemic design. If not for suppressed wages and the rigid household registration system, Sheng Zhubao could have brought his wife and child to live together in Beijing, keeping the family united. But in reality, his salary wasn't enough to support a family of 3 in Beijing, and the Hukou household registration system prevented their child from attending school there. This forced separation ultimately led to the breakdown of their marriage. It is also important to recognize that the China under the rule of the Chinese Communist Party has turned a blind eye to 2 dominant forms of toxic positivity in the online discourse on love and marriage. One promotes female independence while denying the value of partnership between men and women, fueling social division. The other glorifies materialism, encouraging a mindset of entitlement and discouraging hard work. Yet the authorities have deliberately allowed these harmful narratives to spread unchecked.
They just passed a law in China, come to think of it, guys. This is just a couple of weeks ago, and the women went crazy. Usually in China, it's either her father or his father that puts the down payment on their first house. Usually it's his father. And so his father puts the down payment on the first house, on the first home, and the money is, they start making the payments. It used to be for years that during the divorce proceeding, they will split the house among with everything else, even though the father of the guy put the down payment on the house, and the guy himself has been making the payments as the predominant, a breadwinner would be making the payments on the house, the mortgage. But when the divorce comes, she didn't have to put in a dime. All she had to do was be the wife, and she would get half of the value of the house when it was sold. They just passed the law and said, no, from now on, you guys split everything else, but you cannot take that house from that man, because that was a gift from his father, not a gift to both of you, but a gift to him. So they just passed that law, and women are pissed at men in China because now they can officially keep the house and don't have to split their houses up with these men. With these women. Let's go back. Here we go.
This is in fact a carefully designed social control strategy. By fostering individualism and eroding social trust, the government makes the population more fragmented and easier to manage. By fueling gender conflicts, it diverts attention away from deeper societal issues. The glorification of entitlement and materialism weakens the moral foundation and cohesion of society, making people more susceptible to being driven by material desires. A divided and disjointed society ultimately serves to reinforce the existing power structure. Moreover, on social media, these topics often spark heated debates, consuming vast amounts of public discourse. Meanwhile, critical discussions on livelihood issues and systemic reforms are drowned out. This tactic of burying real issues in noise is precisely what the authorities find most convenient.
Hello， 大家好，我就是那个被行业淘汰。
Now, this woman is a supermodel in China, but because she's gotten old, oh well, this is the result of not having a man. We're about to watch the Eastern edition of what we saw with Western women. We're about to see what happens to women in the East when they decide that she's a cutie, right? Watch what happens to her and a bunch of other women that act like they don't need no man.
Hi everyone, I'm the nearly 40-year-old model who's been pushed out of the industry and now delivers food to help make ends meet. I've been at this for 2 days, and my biggest challenges are getting lost and worrying about being late with deliveries. I'm always in a rush, and this cold weather is brutal. My face feels like it's about to crack. After just a few deliveries, I've had to find a place to warm up, but there's no other way. I have to push through. Let's go, time to get moving. A model close to 40, facing industry decline, has taken up part-time food delivery. She's been sharing videos of her experiences online, drawing a lot of attention. On March 4th, she shared how she's been getting through 2025 by delivering food and maintaining a positive outlook on life, earning praise from viewers. Many people don't believe I'm actually delivering food, so I want to explain my thoughts today. The job market isn't great right now, and as everyone knows, modeling is a profession that depends on youth. I'm almost 40, and no matter how well I maintain my figure, I can't compete with younger models. Since the pandemic, there have been fewer jobs, and my income isn't enough to cover my expenses, so I started delivering food. With food delivery, I make between 60 to 100 yuan a day. More importantly, it keeps me busy, helps me stay active, and provides a little extra money to cover my living costs. I still need to maintain my image for modeling, which means skincare and other expenses to look polished. That's why, while delivering food, I also film videos to increase my visibility in the industry. If my content does well, maybe I'll land an ad or two, which would be even better. In this tough economy, I want to stay competitive and keep my energy up. One person commented, "You're amazing. I wouldn't even know how to deliver food." Another said, "You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You're already doing great." Many middle-aged workers who lost their jobs have turned to food delivery, while others with unstable employment also take it on as a side gig. For example, in Beijing, the number of food delivery workers in the first half of last year surged by an astonishing 49.7% compared to the previous year. As a result, the industry has become saturated. Another concerning trend is the rising number of women entering nightclub jobs amid the wave of unemployment. A male vlogger who has worked in nightclubs for 17 years said that 2025 has seen the highest number of women in the industry, and even more are expected to join during the summer break.
There are too many people looking for jobs this year. I've been in this industry for 17 years, and this is the highest number of women I've ever seen in nightclubs.
Just think these same women that talk about, I'm Miss Independent, I'm a boss chick, I'm going to have a multimillionaire named Elma J. Fudd. I own a mansion in the yacht. That's going to come pick them up. These chicks are delivering Uber, even after being a supermodel. Delivering Uber and working in nightclubs by the hundreds of thousands.
The numbers are only going to increase. Over the past 2 years, countless brick-and-mortar stores have shut down. Fresh graduates are unemployed, and many entrepreneurs have failed, leaving them in deep debt. Some people can't even pay their mortgages or car loans. Even government employees in some areas aren't receiving their salaries on time. Many of these women are turning to nightclubs. A venue that used to have 200 staff now has 300 to 400, but at least 10% of them don't even get shifts every night. Others have gone into foot massage parlors, dance halls, or live stream selling. In major cities like Shanghai, Hangzhou, and Chengdu, the number of nightclub workers has surpassed 1 million. I expect even more people to enter the industry this summer. What do you all think?
1 million nightclub workers.
Think.
Another vlogger analyzed 4 reasons behind this trend.
第一，实体经济不行了，很多整容的大长腿啊。
The first reason is a struggling economy. Many women who have had cosmetic surgery are under financial pressure to repay their debts, so they turn to nightclub work. Second, the live streaming industry isn't as profitable as before. Even influencers with thousands or tens of thousands of followers aren't making much money, so they return to nightclub jobs. Third, many Gen Z women, especially those without higher education or specialized skills, enter the industry to make a living while they're young. And finally, college graduates struggle to find decent jobs and don't want to work a 9-to-5 job for just 2,000 or 3,000 yuan a month, so they opt for nightclub work instead.
There's also the rise of so-called escort models, young women who claim to be in modeling or acting, but are actually involved in gray area professions like transactional relationships or sex work. A female vlogger who helps students study abroad in Singapore said she recently had a surprising client, a high-end escort from Shanghai who wanted to move to Singapore as a student to make money. Not long ago, I met a young woman who was interested in studying abroad in Singapore. She was incredibly beautiful, dressed in expensive designer clothes, and carried herself with confidence. At first, I thought she was a wealthy heiress from Jiangsu, Zhejiang, or Shanghai, someone with family connections who just wanted an overseas degree for prestige, but her questions were nothing like those of typical students. Instead of asking about universities or courses, she focused on income opportunities in Singapore, the average salaries of locals, and even whether students there were generally attractive. The most shocking part was when she asked if I knew anyone who could alter her birth date on official documents. Then I realized her intentions weren't purely academic. Later, I did some digging and found that she was actually an escort model from Shanghai. Through plastic surgery and careful branding, she had built up an image of wealth and sophistication. As a result, women like her are now turning their attention to Singapore, where, according to some reports, they can earn 20 to 30,000 yuan a night. This reminded me of history, how during the late Qing dynasty, poor families from Fujian and Guangdong had no choice but to travel to Malaysia for work as rubber tappers and construction laborers. But now the ones going overseas aren't impoverished laborers, but self-made socialites from Jiangsu, Zhejiang, and Shanghai, using student visas as a cover to enter the high-end escort scene. The shift is both astonishing and disheartening.
So the pay for play is going on everywhere, gentlemen. Everywhere.
Independent commentator Du Zheng remarked that the financial hardship is no excuse for moral decline. In China today, people mock poverty, but then turn a blind eye to prostitution. After decades of atheism promoted by the Chinese Communist Party, many young people lack a strong moral compass. While selling one's body may seem like an easy way to make money, the physical and emotional toll is severe, leaving many of these women in a tragic situation. As China's economic troubles deepen, unemployment is becoming a widespread concern. On platforms like Douyin, Kuaishou, and Xiaohongshu, discussions about joblessness are everywhere. Some users share their struggles, some complain about workplace discrimination, while others express frustration and helplessness. Among the unemployed, women seem to face even greater challenges. Many social media posts detail the hardships women encounter, whether as business owners or as employees. One vlogger pointed out that age 35 has become a red line for women seeking jobs.
Oh, this is crazy right here. This one is crazy. We thought that the leftover women were bad. Look at this one at age 35.
Once a woman turns 35, it's like she's broken some unspoken rule. Most job postings say they're only looking for candidates under 35. Women are the toughest group out there. We juggle work, family responsibilities, relationships, and childcare. We can hold a thermometer in one hand while fixing a PowerPoint presentation with the other. But when we apply for jobs, even female recruiters just nod sympathetically and never call back. Another woman shared how hard it was to find a new job after quitting, saying even 30 feels like the cutoff.
现在找工作真是好难好难呀。
Finding a job is unbelievably difficult. Once you hit 30, it feels like you're automatically rejected. I've applied for so many jobs online. If I try for a sales assistant position, they ask if I have experience. If not, I'm out.
So it was 35. Then it went to 30. They don't call you back, and they're even just think about in the United States, if they were to just put it out there, we don't hire anybody over the age of 35 like they do in China. If you're a female and you're 35, don't even apply. They're basically saying that. Now it's down to 30.
I interviewed for a sales job today and saw people coming and going constantly because they couldn't keep up with the weekly targets. If you don't hit the quotas, you won't even get the weekends off. Then there's live stream selling, but that's a dead end too. The job market is awful this year. Has anyone had better luck? I feel completely lost. In Hangzhou, another woman described how job hunting has become nearly impossible.
Shout out to my boy Blade Runner with the $5 love tonight. Appreciate you on the Cash App.
感觉2025年的一个最新死法就是在杭州这边找工作。
From last week to this week, I've only managed to get one interview. I've checked every job platform over and over again, but there are barely any openings. I've sent out tons of resumes, but either they get left unread or I never hear back. I started wondering if my applications were even getting through. So this morning, I paid 68 yuan for a premium job hunting membership, but there's still no response. The job descriptions are ridiculous. They want this, that, and everything else, but good luck finding a position with proper benefits or even weekends off. What happened to this job market? A vlogger in Wenzhou also warned job seekers to stay away. If you haven't come to Zhejiang yet, don't. Look at this so-called job seekers bridge. So many people standing around with no work. You might as well stay home and farm. One woman walking down the street broke down in tears, overwhelmed by job hunting. I feel like I can't find a job anywhere. It's just so hard. I can't even get interviews. Even for jobs that aren't that great, they still don't want me. Am I really being cast aside at age 28? I don't know what to do. I feel lost.
Now they're saying it went from 35 to 30, now at 28.
Completely lost. What else am I supposed to do? On March 11th, a woman in Henan made headlines for her long daily commute. Earning 4,600 yuan a month, she drives 110 kilometers across cities to get work. The topic quickly became the #1 trending discussion on Weibo. According to Chinese media reports, the woman, surnamed Dong, lives in Xinjiang, Henan, and works in Jiaozhou, Henan. She posted about her long commute online, sparking heated discussions. However, she noted that more than 10 of her colleagues also commute across cities like she does. Meanwhile, a former HR professional with 6 years of experience shared her struggle in finding a job. Though feeling frustrated, she tried to stay positive.
Hello, 大家好，我是妮妮妈妈。
Hi everyone, I'm Nini's mom. Honestly, it's a bit embarrassing to say this, but after 6 years in HR, I still can't find a job. But then I think, in this economy, it's normal, right? No need to stress too much, right? Today, I even did some part-time work and earned a little money, so I'm not completely giving up. It's just a matter of time. I'll find something eventually. Let's keep going. Others have noticed that online job platforms rarely have any new postings.
你们有没有发现，现在刷 Boss 已经没有什么新的东西出来了？
Have you noticed that there's nothing new on job sites like Boss Zhiping anymore? Every day, I scroll and see the same companies, the same positions. They've been hiring for so long but still haven't found anyone. And I've been job hunting for so long but I still haven't found a job. I keep wondering, why don't they just hire me? The difficulty of finding work after graduation is one of China's biggest challenges. More and more university graduates are joining the ranks of the unemployed. In 2024, China had 11.8 million fresh graduates, but according to a report by Zhaopin, the employment rate among them fell from 57.6% in the previous year to 55.5%, meaning nearly half of graduates remain jobless. Looking ahead to 2025, an even larger wave of 12.2 million graduates is expected, with last year's job
unemployed. I say that is crazy. Yeah, I did mute myself. My bad. That is crazy.
Market already unable to absorb all university graduates. The addition of 430,000 more job seekers will only make youth unemployment worse. A female university student questioned what the future holds for China's graduate students.
是安徽的，安徽一个农村的，我妈是一位农民工。
I'm from a rural village in Anhui. My mom is a migrant worker, and she spent her life's hard-earned money to put me through college. But in the end, I can't even find a decent job. My mom is getting older. She never expected that after struggling for years as a cheap laborer, she would end up raising a daughter who is now just as cheap in the job market. The jobs I've applied for offer salaries around 3,000 yuan a month.
And this is why I'm glad that you said that, Jay. Jay said it sounds like that they are the black man. This is why I sit back and I say to black people, don't join the victim Olympics when people try to, the Umar victim Olympics, like we're the victim of everything. In a lot of ways, some of everybody is struggling. Some of everybody is struggling out there. So do realize that.
That's all it takes to hire graduates like us now. But you can't even find a migrant worker willing to work for that little anymore. My mom worked for low wages to support me, hoping I'd have a better future, but now I'm earning the same or even less than she did. She added that after a month of job hunting, she's completely exhausted. Many of her male classmates have turned to food delivery, while the female ones have started live streaming. There's a popular joke in China. The delivery guys watch live streams when they take breaks, and the live streamers order food deliveries when they're hungry. The money from deliveries goes to tipping live streamers, and the money from streaming goes back to ordering food. She lamented, "Our parents worked so hard to put us through college, but we can't even find real jobs. We eat so much takeout that our health is suffering. It makes me wonder, are universities really here to educate us, or just to keep professors employed? Are we here to support the local businesses around our schools? College students help sustain so many industries, but no one is solving our employment problem." In response to the crisis, Chinese authorities are pushing graduates to take jobs in remote rural areas under initiatives like the Western Development Program. Political commentator Cai Shen-kun told Radio Free Asia that China's unemployment problem has become...
All these people are looking for work. All of these people we've been watching for the last 10 minutes are looking for work.
A national crisis. Even programs like the Western Development Plan can't create enough jobs. He estimated that China's real youth unemployment rate is at least 40%, far higher than the official figures. Even encouraging young people to work at the grassroots level or in rural areas won't fix the issue. Tsai said, in the past, local governments kept expanding their workforce, but now they can't afford to keep hiring.
So if you want to make sure that you watch a YouTube channel that keeps you up to par on what's going on over there in China, the China Observer, really good YouTube channel. Shout out to them. Make sure you guys subscribe. That's the end of that video. Jay says, yes, sir. He said a major majority of people are broke or working poor. It's like that globally. It's like that globally. And that's why I said a minute ago, when people in the United States try to use the victim Olympics, like woe is us, or the white man holding us down, blah, blah, systematic racism. Yes, those things do exist. I'm not denying those. But you have to realize that out here, the way the world is today, the way that these plutocrats and multimillionaire and billionaires are setting things up, they're setting it up so everybody around the world will be struggling. So this is why I say, guys, take advantage of Geoarbitrage. What is Geoarbitrage? Geoarbitrage is when you take your dollars and you go to a geographical location that allows you to get a better bang for your buck. We do that in the States when we move from one city to another city to get a better bang for your buck. In other words, we do this in Florida. You make your money in Florida, but you might buy a nice home in Atlanta or Savannah. Why? Because you get a larger bang for your buck instead of getting a house for $250 or $400 in Florida. It's nice, but all you got to do is just go to the next state, hit Savannah. The weather is still nice in Savannah. It doesn't get as cold as Atlanta does, and you get a bang for your buck. So a lot of people are using Geoarbitrage, getting a bang for your buck. Corporations have been doing that for years. And now it's our turn to take advantage of it. So all you guys that just want to stay in the States and struggle, hey, enjoy yourself. But for those that want to take their dollars and go to other countries and be like me in a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, security in the upper middle class area of the city for only $620 a month, I know I'd be paying $3,000 to $5,000 a month for this apartment in the States, in this area, in this type of area. I know that. But I realize that Geoarbitrage is where it's at. And so while people are back home struggling and you're missing your car payments in the United States, your car payment can pay for my whole apartment, including utilities. Your car payment and your insurance pays for my whole apartment, including utilities. And that's in all about $800 a month. So shout out to all you guys for hanging around with your boy. We got 87 people in the building for the second go around. I'm glad you guys got a chance to hang out and see what's going on in Asia. Those women are struggling just like the sisters in the States and the other ladies in the States are struggling. 40% of employment, 40% unemployment is the government official number. However, the real number is more like 50 to 65. And I can agree with that. I could definitely agree with that. The new American dream is to get the heck out of America and live your dream. That's the new American dream. Well, shout out to you guys. I'm about to get ready to lay it down, relax. Got some things to do in the morning. I want to just hang out with the wifey. Shout out to all you guys. You guys have a great day. I'll be seeing you on, or maybe Andre will be seeing you on this Thursday. I got class tomorrow with Theo. So shout out to Theo and shout out to all you guys. And shout out to my girl, Jay, being in the building. Shout out to Jay. Hope everything's going great in the A. Shout out to C being here as well. Shout out to CJ being in here in the building. And I am up out of here. Let's get these outros going.